What is up, guys, and welcome to my Titanfall overview. If you guys could tell by the title, I have a few tips to help you guys get going. As you can see, 100% win-loss. So I've not lost a game yet in Titanfall beta, and we've played 22 games, which is a solid 2 hours straight. This last session I just played, it was basically me and one other guy just owned a lobby for 2 hours straight. It shuffled people in and out, but that's one thing they do need to implement, I think, on these servers is some sort of just like shuffling of teams, because we got in the same team every single game and basically we just kept winning over and over and over and over again. So I thought I would show you my weapons and what I've been using and my loadout and everything. So right now what I've been using is the SMG. Basically this thing is the tryhard's best friend because it has no recoil, and I prefer it with the silencer just to keep myself off the radar. The carbine isn't bad, it's not my favorite though. The smart pistol, while it is pretty cheap and you will get a few cheap kills, it's not very good for taking out multiple targets, at least human targets. It works well against the AI, but the SMG is what I found to be the best. I prefer the iron sights and the suppressor. The scatter fire was just a little too wonky, and I like to take people out at range. I'll put some footage in behind this so you guys can kind of check out how the gun works and how I used it. As far as the anti-Titan weapon goes, I like the heavy rocket. Personally, I just run away. If there's a Titan in front of me, just run away, because that thing will like one-shot you almost every single time. If the pilot's a decent shot, you just get one-shotted, so it's not even worth really bothering unless you have a couple of your team's Titans trying to work on them. Then I wouldn't even bother. So the tier 1, I found that the parkour was the best for me. At least it was the most fun. We'll see down the line what else they fill these tiers out with. I didn't really need more ammo, and I didn't really need to recharge my tactical ability. I would just pretty much run to cover if I needed to charge up my tactical ability in my Titan. So this goes back to that same kind of thing. If the Titan was having problems, just kind of run away. Pretty much anytime you're having trouble in this game, just run away, because you can get in over your head very quickly, even with the AI. So the warp transmitter, this is okay. I didn't find it to be that helpful. The minion detector I found to be the most helpful, just because I could go find like piles of enemies and rack up points really, really quick. So I like that. Gender obviously is up to your own preference. So that was my main setup. And the sniper rifle, I have some footage here I'll put in of using the sniper rifle. But basically, I like the 6x zoom and the stabilizer. And also, I've been running the frag grenade and the cloak tactical ability on all my classes. The other one that makes you run faster isn't that effective, I don't find it. And the other grenade opposite of the frag is something that just kind of makes your enemy screen blurry, which can be useful, but I find the frag to be more useful just to throw into a pile of minions and blow up and get a bunch of points, rather than just like having to go over there and actually shoot them. So it's a good way to rack up a bunch of points. Now into my Titan. This has been pretty much all I've been running. I've tried the other ones a little bit, but this, I was just doing so well with it, I didn't even bother changing anything. So obviously the chassis you can't change. The weapon, I'm sticking with the 40mm cannon with extended mag. Burst fire really wasn't that helpful for me, excuse me. My tactical ability is the shield. The smoke is decent. It's mainly used to get people that are riding on your shoulder off or are trying to attack you. But I found it easier just to jump out and shoot them than jump back in. So the vortex shield is the one that actually catches like the rockets and stuff and throws them back. That one's really handy. The lock-ons were a little bit tougher just because of these maps. It kind of depends on the one that has a lot of streets. I don't remember the map names off the top of my head, but the one that's in the city streets, it's hard to hold the lock-on. So the rockets I found to be the easiest to use. The fast loader, again, just easier. You don't really need your Titan to blow up whenever you jump out. It's not that helpful. I think I only got like 1 or 2 kills and probably half the time I used it, so not that great. This one is decent, the regen booster, but like I was saying, we were rolling over the lobby, so we didn't really need to play a lot of defense. It was mainly offense. Whoops. And then the tier 2, I like the auto eject. The survivor, again, if you were getting suppressed pretty heavily, this will give you more of a chance to try to get out of the fight and regen, but at the rate that we were spawning in Titans and stuff, we just used auto eject and get back into another Titan when it came back around. So anyway, that's kind of the rundown of what I've been running if you guys want to get in and get going. Oh, I guess I should tack on this to the end, my video settings, what I'm running currently. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory. 2 times MSAA. It seemed to work fine with me, 90 FOV. The VSync is something that's really weird. So if you disable VSync, it caps your frames at 60 frames per second. If I put on double buffered, I have a 144 hertz monitor. It would let me go up to that 144 hertz, but it would put on these crazy mouse lag, input lag, like you can see it says in the description, which VSync is known for doing. But this was like unlike anything else I've ever felt. So I just suffered, I say, the 60 frames per second. Most people are perfectly happy with that. I just like to take full advantage of my monitor if I can. I'm sure that something will be tweaked there in the final release, but for now I just leave it on disabled and run 60. So all that footage you saw of the DX toy running in the back or in the bottom left, that's just capped at 60. The lighting quality, shadow detail, all this stuff, I couldn't really find anything that really worked better one way or the other. I usually, like in Battlefield, I leave the shadow and lighting quality down just because it doesn't add that much to what's going on. I like to have nice textures and stuff, but like impact marks, you don't need that really. You don't need ragdoll effects to be that high. I just like my character to look nice, and if I can get some big explosions to look nice, I'll actually turn that up as well. But this gave me easily 60 frames per second. And it was pretty close when I enabled the double buffered VSync or whatever. I was getting around 100. It wasn't staying stable at 144 frames per second, and I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get to full release, and we're not using whatever drivers we are now. I'm sure they'll have a new driver out for that. One other thing, they did put a bunch of audio settings in here, which this is more than I've ever seen in any other game, so it's very nice. You can even turn off if you want it to like realistically use the buildings around you to muffle sounds and stuff like that. It's crazy. So really a lot of audio options, very cool. Video options are pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect in a PC game these days. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and I'll see you guys in the next Titanfall video. See ya.